Every morning before you had coffee, your inbox has already made a list for you. A customer asking for a refund, a payment that failed, a security alert that you're not sure is real, and 40 newsletters and other subscriptions that come in, burying all those important ones. Most people spend the first hour of their day playing an archaeologist in their own inbox. I don't do that anymore. I used to feel so much anxiety about having to check my inbox. I'm going to show you how to hand that entire job, which I'm sure you'd be happy to delegate, to an AI agent. One that reads everything, triages what's important, surfaces which you need to respond to immediately, catalogs or archives or labels what is not important at all. It can draft the replies for you if you want it to. It can flag what's important depending on the rules you gave it. It can hand you your morning digest. You can save an hour. And here's the part that matters. It does not send any emails without you. It drafts anything that it finds important. You review it, edit it, approve it, and send it yourself. So you stay in control of everything, but you save time. The whole thing runs off of one prompt that's on screen right now. And it's free for you to copy and use in any way you feel like. It's a template. You fill in your details, paste that into an AI agent connected to your email. It can be Gmail. It can be Outlook at work. It can be a Gmail-based business account if you are running a small or a medium business. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how it works, where to find it, and the parts that you may need for your prompt. So stick around. So what are we looking at here? It's a reusable prompt for a daily email triage agent. If you don't need it daily, you tell it to execute once a week, once, however often. That I published on marketcraftinstitute.com and that I use every day. It's built for anyone running a small business inbox. You may be assisting someone with reading emails, but honestly, most of it applies to any business inbox and applies to any one of us. My prompt that you see on screen does 3 things in a single morning pass. Number 1, customer support. It reads every customer email, classifies it, and drafts a reply grounded in my FAQ document. Number 2, it looks through personal correspondence, not necessarily customers, but still business related, but more personal correspondence. It flags anything from a real human that needs my reply today or immediately. 3, any operational emails. It may find invoices and classify them into the invoice folder, the emails that are boring, until one day you need them and it's an emergency. At the end, it gives me one single chat message. When I turn my computer on in the morning, I have a digest with one single chat message, a short one, not 50 notifications, and one digest that is organized in that exact order: customers first, people second, operations third. As you can see, everything in the prompt is written in brackets: support emails, your domain, product name. This prompt is a template with placeholders. You replace each one of them with your email, your name, your product, and the whole template will become yours. That's what makes it reusable instead of someone else's setup. One of the most important parts of the prompt is the operating policy. Let's look at operating policy. Before we get into the mechanics, look at this section because it is the design decision that makes it trustworthy. The operating policy section here stipulates drafts only, no auto send. So if there is anything that needs to be drafted, it would be surfaced to me. I do have a variant of this prompt once I was sure that my AI agent was trained well and is able to recognize the way to respond to my 2 customer emails. I have a variation of this prompt that allows my AI agent make some decisions, but not all, and send replies. But in this case, this prompt is no auto send ever. Every reply the agent writes, even the dead simple ones, is surfaced to me. even the one that maps perfectly and exactly to your FAQ, it gets saved as a draft. You review it, you click send. Even when the agent marks something urgent, it still waits for my review. Even when the agent marks it ready to send, it still waits for me to send or for you to click the send button. On this prompt, there is a built-in trigger to revisit after your first 3 customers. So you train the agent with the first few customers, and then you can trust the agent to send the emails on your behalf so that they're handled urgently. Until you have watched the agent handle customer email correctly over and over, I would not fully authorize the agent to send emails on your behalf. But if you're trying to save time and you have a no questions asked refund policy, the easiest is to allow the agent to issue refunds. But you want to be sure not to authorize to refund any more than, let's say, 1 month if you are running a subscription service. And that's exactly the same way you would onboard a human assistant. You would want to do the same for an AI one. Before the agent begins work, it needs to be instructed to read your FAQ section of your website. You should have an FAQ document. If you don't, it's a good idea to task your agent first with creating one. It is a document that you write once. Those are product facts, your policies, your canned answers, your voice rules, your escalation triggers. For instance, if your policy is issuing refunds, no questions asked, then that's the document where you instruct the agent about your policies. Why does this matter so much? Because it's a difference between an agent that answers from your policies, from your source of truth, and an agent that improvises. And AI can improvise, as we all know. And look at this line. If the file isn't accessible, the agent stops immediately and reports the failure. It does not draft replies from memory. That one line alone prevents the agent from telling your customer something it should never say. The step 2, pulling emails. The 4 queries. This is the most technical section. How does it actually read your inbox? 4 Gmail search queries, plus a marketing count. This does look intimidating, but the logic is very simple. Query A grabs the customer support email. Everything sent to your support address in the last 24 hours or since the last time the agent ran, minus your own messages, minus automated senders. Query B grabs personal correspondence, real humans writing to you with promotions, social, and updates filtered out. Now here's the clever part. Query C. Query C exists because my Gmail supported work email has a habit that will quickly break any inbox automation. It files Stripe billing emails, but also community updates under updates category. And you can see that those two are not the same. So if queries A and B exclude the updates, then you never see the failed payment from Stripe or a customer disputing a charge on Stripe. So query C is a rescue query. It goes and gets exactly those senders, no category exclusions at all. Now to query D, the 4th one. Query D is the operational sweep, and it deliberately does not exclude updates either, because something operational can get miscategorized into updates folder. That's where DMARC reports, Google security alerts, vendor billing notices live. And then the marketing count. The agent counts your promotional and social emails, but never opens it. You just get one line in your digest, skipped roughly 40 marketing emails. You know the volume, you waste zero attention to it. There's also a smart detail in Stripe handling. The agent checks whether an email is test mode or live mode. Test mode noise from my own development is ignored. And if you're not using Stripe, then that segment doesn't apply to you. But maybe you're using a different billing application. So you can set it up as per its features and settings. So test mode in Stripe is fully ignored. Of course, when I get the emails from Stripe, they're not labeled as test mode, but I know that Stripe testing is done with the 424242 credit card always. And that's how I taught the agent to be able to separate and recognize test mode emails. A live mode failed payment from a real customer, that goes straight to needs my attention category. And now classification. 3 buckets. Every customer email lands exactly in one of 3 buckets, and you may have more than 3, and that's what you instruct the agent to do. Bucket 1, FAQ safe. The question maps clearly to your safe list. How do I access my purchase? That kind of thing. The agent drafts a reply from your canned answer and marks it ready to send. You review. Bucket 2, draft for review. The agent is confident, but it's a bill and edge case or something unusual, so it drafts a reply and explicitly asks for your eyes before it goes out. Bucket 3, escalate. Refund disputes, bugs, legal, anything emotional or hostile, anything where the agent's confidence drops below roughly 80%. Here's the key. That it does not draft at all. It gives you the customer's name, the verbatim ask, and a suggested next step, and it gives a link to the conversation. But that kind of conversation should never get templated, and the prompt knows it. If you don't want to handle conversations like these, that's fine. Then you can set up your agent to actually specifically handle conversations that are hostile just by issuing automatic refunds. And look at this list. The downgrade triggers. If a customer email contains words like refund, dispute, lawyer, urgent, etc., that automatically downgrades it from ready to send to needs a review. You can come up with your own list. No matter how well it matches the FAQ, it's a tripwire for emails that look routine but aren't. Now, as to how the drafts are written, they need to be coming from your brand voice, and that brand voice usually matches closely your personal tone and your personal approach to how you email and how you respond. When the agent does draft, it follows voice rules. These are worth stealing, even if you never built this agent. First, honesty. On the first reply in any thread, the agent discloses that it's an AI support and will escalate to a human if it cannot help, once per conversation. Then it gets on with the answer. Now the style rules. No hollow words. Every reply ends with a useful next action. One more grounding rule that I personally love. If a fact in the FAQ doc contradicts the live website, the agent trusts the live site and flags the contradiction so that I can fix it. That helps me to correct course, kind of runs a side task. Steps 5 and 6, people and operations. Personal correspondence is refreshingly simple. For each thread from a real person is the ball in your court. If the last message is from someone else and contains a question, a meeting proposal, etc. The entire mental model of inbox management written down. If you think it's hard, think about how many times you go through that mentally to respond to every one of your emails. Ask your AI to help you write this prompt and tell it that it needs to ask you all the questions that matter for writing the prompt that will represent your tone. The operational triage in step 6 is where the agent earns its keep on the boring but critical stuff. Security alerts get surfaced even when they look routine. 1 line each, because the day you skip one is the day it mattered. Vendor invoices, quota warnings, domain notices, service outages, 1 line entry. So the agent is surfacing this to me, and usually I quickly know whether or not any of this is serious. And if and when I want more clarification or help, right in that same thread that I get every morning, I can ask the agent to clarify this or that and work with it on a response. Here's a bonus. Step 6.5. For anyone doing PR or anyone who receives daily emails that need priority scanning and taking action right away, So in my case, I'm subscribed to a digest of people requesting PR quotes from business operators or AI automators or anyone really out there. And the responses to be able to get quoted are usually quite time sensitive. So in addition to triaging my email, like I've already explained, my agent is tasked with scanning for a fit. The agent parses every query, matches it against my expertise, and surfaces only genuine fit with a deadline and the journalist contact so that I can quickly start replying as soon as I see the digest in the morning. But it does not draft the quote because this service specifically asks for no AI drafted documentation or no AI drafted emails. So journalists do reject AI written responses, and the prompt respects that. It surfaces the opportunity. I write the pitch. I also have DMARC party trick running. This is the part that would take a human the longest. In fact, it's pretty much impossible for me, and I would never. If it wasn't for my agent, I would never do it. DMARC aggregates reports, those zipped XML attachments that everyone usually deletes. The agent downloads them, unzips them, parses the XML, and tells me in plain English, this many messages were sent from your domain, this many passed authentication, and critically, whether an unrecognized IP address is failing alignment. This is for the hackers who might be sending emails on my behalf. Critically, an unknown server sending email as your domain can mean someone is spoofing you. That's the kind of thing you want to know the morning it starts, not 3 months later. And it keeps a processed log so it never rereads the same report twice. Step 8, the digest. All of that collapses into one message, and I like my AI to be brief, so it's a very short one. You can see that exact format on screen. Customer support first with counts, ready to send for your review, needs your attention, then personal correspondence, then operational, then the DMARC file line, then the marketing count. Empty sections get skipped, not padded. Every item links straight to the Gmail thread. I'm showing you the day when there are no customer support emails so that I'm not inadvertently sharing any private information. I have stopped dreading reading my emails, or even sometimes I like looking forward to it. Click in the threads that matter, hit send on the drafts that you approve, 10 minutes instead of an hour, and so much relief every single day. The full prompt that you just saw is free on the MarketCraft site. Link is in the description. Copy it, replace the bracketed placeholders with your own details, write your FAQ doc, connect it to an agent that can read your personal, your business, or your work email. Start with drafts only, exactly like the prompt says, and let it earn your trust. If you want more agent prompts and more AI workflows, like this one, subscribe to the MarketCraft newsletter on that same page, and subscribe here for more content. Think about which part of your inbox do you want to hand off first.